Well, good Sunday afternoon to you. I'm meteorologist Brandon Lashbrook here in the WFXR Plus studio with another winter weather update for you as we are still seeing winter weather conditions across our region. A lot of sleet is falling down currently, but we will see a change over to some freezing rain as we get into this evening before everything will come to an end later tonight. Then we are going to turn brutally cold into the early portion of this upcoming work week. Temperature is getting very close to potentially tying or getting close to a record of consecutive days below freeze, and we'll talk more about that in our 7-day forecast as coming up. Let's take a look right now at current radar as we are seeing a little bit of a dry back edge, a little bit of a lull in activity back towards the New River Valley, the Mountain Empire. A lot of that more sleet is heading towards north of 460 into the Highlands, Central Virginia. It's blue on the radar, but it's sleet that's falling down. A lot of looking at the VDOT cameras, our cameras, and we're seeing a lot of that just sleet falling down as we do have some of that warmer air aloft helping to melt those snowflakes into the sleet pellets. Looking across the south side, seeing some of that drier spots, southern Halifax, but Danville seems some of that blue coloration there, maybe some heavier sleet falling, maybe some freezing rain mixed in as well. I saw some reports of some freezing rain back towards the Mountain Empire. With low clouds, even though it looks dry on radar, low clouds may see some freezing drizzle, especially for the highest of elevations, kind of locked in that cloud cover with those low cloud ceilings. Looking down to the south, a little bit more of that lull in activity back towards North Carolina. We're not done quite yet. We have another line that's going to come through with the actual cold front to bring us that freezing rain potential over our area. Let's take a look at some of our cameras across our region. I'll take you full so you can see our cameras. Here's a view from Poor Mountain, higher elevation, so we're kind of locked in that cloud cover. Can't really see what should be, the valley right there. Trees there looking like they're swaying a little bit in the breeze, but winds today aren't overtly gusty across the area. The view from the zoo, nice snow cover there, looking at the Roanoke Valley, the river there, some of the parks, trees looking okay currently from any ice accumulations or really snowfall on top of it. As again, it's been a lot of sleet falling down, bouncing off the ground. Here's a view from Thaxton Mountain in Bedford County. You can see that sleet still falling. Maybe some of that freezing on the camera lens. That's why it looks a little bit blurry, but otherwise a good coating there of snow and sleet on the ground. Looking at the Shutting a Story view from Buchanan, the flag there is waving in the breeze. Nice coating across the entire farm there. I saw some horses out there earlier. It might be a little too cold for them, though. It's very cold out there. Roof camera, we're seeing some pavement on 581, but still roads are not the greatest at all. So if you can, try to avoid travel today. Let the plows do the work and clearing those major roads first. Then we'll get to those secondary roads as soon as they can. Notice what should be the airport there, the runway. The low clouds are in place, the sleet's falling, so visibilities are lowered too. So even if the sleet stops, we're still seeing some of that visibility is lowering too. So about a mile, quarter mile in some spots up to Hot Springs, seeing those low clouds across the area. Let's take a go ahead and look at some of our viewer pictures that we've seen so far. Here's a view from Rocky Mount from Cara, seeing a good coating of snow on the road there. Here's a view from, let's see. There we go. From Roanoke, Zach has got some nice accumulation on the balcony and the chairs there as a sleet. I'm sure it's continuing to accumulate on top of that. Hot Springs at the Homestead, nice view of the low clouds over, kind of obscuring the mountaintops a little bit. Good sleet cover there. Rocky Mount also looking to see a good amount of snowfall just coating the entire grass and the lawn. Cool view from Draper, looking at the New River. Got some ice floating there. Temperature is very cold to help support that ice. And Jason sent a picture from Gretna. Here's a small little creek. It's frozen over. It's definitely very cold outside for sure. And if you got pictures, we would love to see them. Just head over to our Report It tab on WFXRTV.com and send us your pictures, where it's from, and And we would love to see what's actually occurring on the ground, as it helps us, of course, verify forecasts and seeing how things are progressing across our region. Temperatures out there, again, they are pretty cold. We're seeing teens over the area. 15 degrees currently is the temperature in Roanoke, 19 Lynchburg, 18 Danville. Luckily, the winds are not that breezy, so wind chills not that low as they could be if we had breezier, gustier winds, but it does feel like 9 in Withfield. Temperatures, though, warmer to the west. We're at 27 degrees in Galax, 20 in Withfield, and 22 in Bluefield, as you can see where the wedge is really at, that cold air damming. We've got that cold air over most of our region, but far southwest Virginia, a little bit more of that warmer air ahead of that front. Looking, again, below freezing out the ground, but around 4,000 feet or so above our heads, we're actually above freezing, which is why we're getting that sleet. The snowfall falls and melts to those sleet pellets as they hit the ground and bounce around. We're in the upper 30s at that level over Roanoke, 50s down towards North Carolina, and that warmer is going to continue to move northward. And as it does so, it will help transition over to that freezing rain. So winter storm warning still in effect for our entire viewing area through Monday afternoon, 1 p.m. We've seen the accumulating snowfall. We're seeing the sleet now. The freezing rain is going to be next, and that's when we could see those ice accumulations. Biggest impacts for ice near and south of 460. Moderate impacts for most of the region there. The southern Blue Ridge, the crest there, you see the strip of red, could see some locally higher amounts of ice, therefore a little bit of a higher impact, a possibility. And with ice impacts, ice accumulating on the branches, the power lines, that could increase the risk for some power outages, unfortunately. Ice accumulations, about a tenth of an inch or slightly more north of 460 up towards the highlands. South, a quarter of an inch to potentially up to half an inch. Again, locally higher amounts possible for the southern strip there of the crest of the Blue Ridge. As we go into this evening, we'll see that transition really more so take shape. Here's a big picture right now. We got the sleet moving through. You can see a little bit of that lull there from southern portions of our area into North Carolina. Here's the front. We got a lot of rain with it from Kentucky to Tennessee into Alabama. Also, notice there the yellow. That's actually, oh, there we go. That's actually a tornado watch. So we have some instability, some warm air moving from the Gulf, and that's supporting a chance for some severe storms. Actually, do have one of them being severe warned right now. All this moisture is heading in our direction with this front. The low is actually lifting to the northeast a bit, and the entire line is shifting to the east. And so as it does so, it's going to run on top of that cold air that we have at the surface, the below freezing temperatures, and that's going to allow for that freezing rain to begin. Although some spots west of I-77 may see just regular rain, a possibility, as temperatures may bump up above freezing slightly. Here's a current winter weather alerts across the country. Still got some of those advisories. Yeah, back towards West Texas. Some of the warnings beginning to be allowed to expire as the system's moving away. Still got winter storm warnings continuing for a great portion of the area there in pink all the way up into Maine, as this is a pretty wide stretching system. Now, even after the precipitation comes to an end, there's some tips for you as we deal with what's left on the ice and snow still around. If you're didn't get in your car by Monday, Tuesday, make sure to clear your car off, get all that snow off the top. The ice too. You don't want any snow, ice chunks flying off of your car as you're driving down the roadways, potentially hitting other cars behind you. Again, if you have a generator, if you potentially lose power with the ice, make sure you are running that outdoors. You don't want to have that indoors. If you can, about 20 some feet away from your house to run that safely. And afterwards, inspect your house for any damage. We could see some branches falling down with some ice accumulations on it, something to keep a close eye out for. And if you're shoveling with the ice out there on top of the snow, that's going to make the shoveling efforts a little bit harder. So, take plenty of breaks. Don't want to overexert yourself afterwards, as it will still be very cold, too. And, of course, keep warm, too, as we're going to be seeing temperatures well below freezing for a good portion of next week. All right, time it now for you what we can expect the rest of this evening. We're seeing that sleet now across our area. Into the evening hours, as that bulk of the moisture moves back in, we'll see the change over to that freezing rain potential. This is when we could see some of that heavier impacts for ice, although one thing to potentially look out for, if the freezing rain falls pretty heavily, kind of raindrops splash around, that actually makes it a little bit harder for the water to freeze quickly. And so that may actually just limit the ice accumulations. We'll be seeing how heavy this rain falls as it moves through. Nonetheless, though, there will still be that chance for a decent amount of icing with this freezing rain. Notice back though, west of I-77, we could really see some of that rain if temperatures begin to break and warm a little bit above freezing. However, the moisture that does fall, that rain, is going to may stick around. It may come off as runoff, but may potentially refreeze overnight, and then see a thin layer of black ice on top of the snow on the roadways can make those roads even more treacherous. Into the evening, though, things will come to an end from west to east by 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Western zones getting the brick of the rain and the freezing rain first, then eastern zones after that. By 9, 10, 11, most of the precipitation should begin to slide east of here as we hopefully try to dry things out. Although western slopes may still see some upslope snow showers into Monday early morning. And may see some flurries around the west of the Blue Ridge Monday afternoon. Extra accumulation is really not expected to be all that much. Temperature-wise, though, it's going to be cold Monday, and the winds are going to pick up. It's going to get very gusty. Winds gusting in that 25, 30, 35 mile per hour range, picking up tonight, overnight into early tomorrow morning, throughout the afternoon, making it feel much colder. They do begin to decrease, though, towards tomorrow night. Still slightly breezy Tuesday morning before they pick back up again Tuesday afternoon. And with power outages that do occur, this could inhibit the crews getting out there with those buckets and trying to fix those lines, as if it's above 30 mile per hour wind gusts, they may not make it out there to all the ones that need power restoration. So we'll be watching the winds very closely into the day tomorrow. Temperature-wise, tomorrow morning, we're in the teens, 20s. The afternoon, not much recovery. With the winds, it's going to feel more like 2 degrees in the New River Valley, 11 in Central Virginia. It's going to be cold. Then the cold air really moves in Tuesday morning. Lows getting close to 0 or below. Wind chills 10 to 15 degrees below 0 possibility. Already have an extreme cold watch that will be in effect Monday evening through Tuesday morning to the afternoon. As we'll potentially see wind chills as low as negative 20, especially for those higher of elevations. Next 7 days, we'll be seeing temperatures brutally cold. Tuesday, near 31 degrees for a high. In the morning, 0 degrees for the low. Then back in the 20s for highs Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So the ice and snow that's going to be around is going to stick around, unfortunately, for a while, as any efficient melting of this will be severely limited. We could see some Tuesday with some sunshine as we get close to freezing, but it's going to be brutally cold. Make sure you are staying safe. You're staying warm as well as we continue throughout this winter storm through this evening into early tonight. And of course, we will have more updates for you through this evening from the Pinpoint Weather Team. We'll have hourly updates either on TV or here on the WFXR Plus app. And of course, we'll have a newscast tonight. The full newscast just past 11 o'clock or so. And of course, on social medias, we'll have more updates for you. So make sure you are staying tuned and we are staying safe too. Stay indoors if you can as we continue to ride out the rest of this winter storm through this evening and then the cold into early next week.